Evan, RFK Jr. began his Eat Real Food tour right here in the Capitol Rotunda today. Well, Amy, the snow is now sleet, but it is no less slick on some of these roads. We're along King Street here in downtown Lancaster. What is your outlook on the future of agriculture here in Pennsylvania?
You know, I'm more excited today than I've been in years.
Fox 43's James Corrigan live at the Farm Show complex with details of the governor's visit and what both sides are saying about the state of farming in Pennsylvania.
Well, it's a busy day for Governor Shapiro here at the Farm Show complex. He addressed elected officials at a luncheon earlier today before touring through the crowds here behind me. And his message, along with the Republican leaders of the House and Senate Agricultural Committees, is that they are giving farmers a helping hand even during uncertain economic times. Governor Josh Shapiro took in the sights and the people at the Pennsylvania Farm Show and touted the tools provided by his administration to boost farmers, including bipartisan permitting reform in his last budget and the Ag Innovation Fund, allowing farmers to upgrade their facilities and technology.
With the help of these lawmakers, we've invested about $20 million so far in ag innovation, but all told, we've had $70 million worth of requests from farmers across our Commonwealth. This is something that is working. This is something that's in demand.
The innovation is needed with farmers facing an uncertain future due to federal tariff policies driving away exports. Republican State Senator Elder Vogel spoke about the struggles on his own Western Pennsylvania farm and the federal bridge payments he says were far from enough.
It's just going to be a little peanut of a handout that he's going to try and appease us because the way he did, I mean, it took us 4 or 5 years from the last time he put tariffs on China to start to get our soybean exports back to China to a respectable level.
Vogel says he wants more money in the next state budget for ag innovation and to help farmers, and that his own Senate leadership is standing in the way.
We put $10 million in last year and $10 million again this year, but the governor proposed $20 or $30 million, but we cut it back because of the budget impasse and things. But obviously, they said there was $70-some million worth of requests, and we had $10 or $15 million worth of money to give out.
It's part of how the administration and legislators say they are attempting to ease the pain on tariffs and workforce fluctuation that has impacted Pennsylvania farmers in many sectors.
I talked to a lot of farmers. They don't want a handout. They just want to produce their crops. They want to go forward and pursue new markets, and they don't want to be hindered by government. We are a help to farmers. We are a partner to farmers. Unfortunately, our federal partners have been a real hindrance because of these tariffs.
Now, as for the future and the next state budget address, which is right around the corner, Senator Vogel says he will push for more money for farmers. He says that he needed in his own farm about double the bridge payment that he got from the federal government to make up for his losses due to tariffs. And as the chair of the Senate Agricultural Committee, he says he will push the governor and push his fellow Republicans in the Senate for more money to help out those farmers. Live in Harrisburg, I'm James Corrigan with Fox 43 News.
Fox 43's James Corrigan live in Lancaster tonight's got details of what he saw today and what lies ahead for folks who are digging out of the snow.
Evan, it's been a day of dicey conditions here in Lancaster. We toured the area, as you've seen throughout the afternoon, both here in Lancaster City and throughout the surrounding area in Lancaster County, and conditions made it difficult for both driving and digging out of the snow, which meant that groups like the Lancaster Snow Angels had to severely curtail their cleanup efforts while the snow and sleet were falling down. Shoveling is a tall order. And for Lancaster Snow Angels President Jennifer Jarvis, her group's mission of helping the county's neediest with shoveling their snow was partly derailed by the day's dangerous conditions.
Tonight we're just working on getting ourselves dug out so we're able to deploy when the road conditions between here and Lancaster City are safely passable for us to get down there.
The Snow Angels weren't completely sidelined, helping elderly people in Terre Hill clear their porches and paths in the case of a medical emergency.
Some of them have severe mobility impairments that, you know, they need to have safe passage for their in-home health care to get in or be able to make it to their mailboxes or get their trash out or get their groceries off their porches.
The heavy snow was a heavy burden across Lancaster County into the city, where unplowed roads made for difficult driving conditions for all. Cars were buried under the snow, and some neighbors stepped up to try and clear the sidewalks and curbs.
They just wanted us to kind of help out and keep everything clean and safe, you know. That's really about help everybody out we can. Do the best we can, you know.
Not all residents stayed inside, as some still trekked to the businesses that braved the bitter cold to welcome their brave customers through their doors.
We saw some people snowboarding down the street and we were like, we got to get out there.
Yeah,
let's put on warm clothes and let's go.
More than just warm clothes will be needed in the next few days, as the Lancaster Snow Angels will deploy their volunteers across the county to help clean up the snow.
It's going to be very rough. It's going to be grueling. We actually my crew just got finished shoveling snow 2 days ago from the last system, so I can't even really imagine how long it's going to take for us to get through this.
Well, it'll take at least one day. The crews will start tomorrow in that cleanup effort. Lancaster Snow Angel volunteers will deploy here into the city and into the surrounding towns to start their shoveling. They say that they need volunteers. If you at home would like to volunteer, you can reach out to the group directly on Facebook as they begin the daunting task of digging Lancaster County out of the snow. Live in Lancaster, I'm James Corrigan with Fox 43 News. Dairy cows have plenty to be excited about at the Pennsylvania Farm Show. And this year, their owners have even more reason to smile after Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. unveiled the government's new food pyramid, giving a significant boost to recommended amounts of dairy in the diet.
We were ecstatic. We love dairy. We consume a lot of dairy within our household.
Jared Kurtz has lived dairy through owning Kirkland Farms in Berks County and bringing his cows to the farm show this week. He says he and Pennsylvania's nearly $12 billion dairy industry stands to benefit from the revised recommendations, which emphasize full-fat dairy products like whole milk and butter while cutting recommended servings of grains in half.
It puts a spotlight on the products that we produce, that there's a lot of nutritional value to it. And our hope and our goal is that over time, these whole products such as whole milk, butter, cheese, that are rich in protein will really continue to grow as staple products within the food industry.
Now, as excited as these dairy cows and their owners are about the new food pyramid, it does not come without its detractors worried about the new amounts of fat and cholesterol in the diet. In a statement, the American Heart Association praised many of the new guidelines, but did express concern about the consumption of saturated fats in red meat. It continues to recommend low-fat and fat-free milk for heart health, despite the whole-fat guidelines. Pennsylvania dairy leaders, however, are pushing back on the notion that fats in dairy are unhealthy.
The fat in dairy products has been demonized over about 20 years ago. There was a trend to push it backwards. Well, the most recent information that we've had is that our bodies do need, there's different types of fats, and our bodies do need the fat that is in dairy products. It is positive for the industry, but I think more importantly, it's going to be more important to our consumers and the children so that they have the right kind of nutrition in their diets.
And no matter the opinions of the new food pyramid, the biggest winner is the nearly 5,000 family-owned dairy farms here in Pennsylvania, which means that cows like Fluff will have an even bigger role in feeding the nation. James Corrigan, Fox 43 News.